Hello, my name is John Bannon. I'm an attorney and philosopher. In today's video, I'm going to explain the difference between Hanssonian superdeterminism and the all-at-once superdeterminism. So when I speak of superdeterminism, I'm referring to a very particular version of superdeterminism proven by Swedish theoretical physicist Dr. Johan Hansen. And you can find his proof in the peer-reviewed physics journal, Physics Essays, Volume 33, Number 2, June of 2020, pages 216 to 218. So, superdeterminism has been defined as a property of any physical theory that produces systematic violations of statistical independence. Now, you can find that definition in the article on measurement, superdeterminism, free will, and contextuality, found at archive 2604.00311, March 31st, 2026. So, classic superdeterminism, which was first posited by Dr. John Bell in 1985, meets this definition of superdeterminism because it claims a chain of hidden causal variables originating with the Big Bang that mechanically orchestrates physical reality behind the scenes, violating statistical independence. So, classic superdeterminism explains the spooky action at a distance found in the correlations of entangled particles as a result of hidden causal variables or causal chains that extend all the way back to the initial conditions of the Big Bang. So, this is the very typical understanding that people have of superdeterminism. However, superdeterminism is a broader concept than just a theory involving hidden causal variables. If you look at the definition of superdeterminism, it only requires a systematic violation of statistical independence. Now, statistical independence only exists if physical causation exists, because what is statistically independent is not something that is physically caused to occur deterministically. So, or at least not orchestrated to occur. So, if you deny the very existence of physical causation, then you can violate statistical independence because there is no statistical independence. It's impossible. So that's another class of superdeterminism, which denies the existence of physical causation or probabilistic causation or cause and effect in physics. So this different class of superdeterminism denies the very existence of statistical independence, thus allowing it to be violated through a non-causal adynamical block universe. Now, there are two types of superdeterminism in this separate class, and they are Hanssonian superdeterminism and the all at once block universe or superdeterminism. They are both superdeterminism because both are based on an adynamical block universe with global constraints, denying the existence of physical causality and statistical independence. The difference is that the all at once uh, superdeterminism claims that the universe exists on the basis of mathematical necessity, having no alternative choices. Consequently, the all at once universe must exist eternally without being atemporally created outside of space time. So the all at once interpretation or version of superdeterminism claims that the universe exists because that is the only universe that is mathematically possible under our laws of physics, such as under the least action principle. And that mathematical necessity is why the universe exists in the first place. But if you have a universe that exists via mathematical necessity, then it must have always existed because the mathematics would always exist due to them being necessary, which means an all at once block universe must be eternal. It could not have been created. Whereas Hanssonian superdeterminism makes no claim about the reason the universe exists, which leaves room for the atemporal creation of the universe by God. If you look at Dr. Hanson's proof in physics essays, it doesn't claim any reason why the universe exists at all. It simply proves that cause and effect in physics is not real, and there are certain consequences that go along with that, but not the consequence of the universe being mathematically necessary to exist, and therefore it could not have been atemporally caused to exist. So, Hanssonian superdeterminism leaves the door open to a creator God, whereas the all at once version of superdeterminism does not. Now, why should you believe that our universe was atemporally created? There are several good points of evidence for the atemporal creation of the universe. However, one of the strongest is the recent scientific finding that virtual particles played a real role in the collisions of um, quarks. So, virtual particles are mathematical constructs, which means they're not real. They don't really exist. But this scientific experiment showed that they played a role in the outcome of particle collisions. Well, if they played a role in the collisions, but they don't actually exist, then that must prove the existence of transcendent logic. So if you have transcendent logic, you have a blueprint for, in this case, a particle collision that transcends the actual physical collision itself. And if you have a blueprint for the universe, then the universe must have been created because why else would you have a blueprint? So that is good scientific evidence for the atemporal creation of our block universe. And you can find that recent scientific experiment involving virtual particles in the article Measuring Spin Correlation Between Quarks During QCD Confinement, found in the physics journal Nature, volume 650, pages 65 to 71, February 4th, 2026. All right. So, Hanssonian superdeterminism and the all at once superdeterminism are both within this class of superdeterminism that denies the very existence of statistical independence by saying there is no physical causation. They're adynamical block universes without global constraints. But within this separate class of superdeterminism, Hanssonian superdeterminism leaves room for God. It leaves room for the atemporal creation of our universe outside of space time. Whereas the all at once version of superdeterminism does not. It claims that the universe is the result of mathematical necessity and therefore must be eternal and could not have been atemporally created. So I hope you learned something, and I'll give you a second to read the board. All right, until next time, take care.